So it has been almost a month with the S26 Ultra, and I have to say, using this phone for this long has genuinely opened my eyes in a lot of ways, because what it sets out to deliver in features, it does very well. I've been playing around with some customizations too to make this phone look and work best for me, and you get spoiled by Samsung real quick. Especially, you know, as an Apple user, I have to give it to Android. The S26 Ultra is honestly really cool. So in my initial review, I briefly mentioned one-hand operations plus from Good Luck, and I want to expand on that because I've gone a bit deeper into it since then. And yeah, look at this. I enabled this feature using Good Luck and Naughty Star, and what it does is basically track your phone activity. So for example, let's say you get a notification that you deleted by accident, or a screenshot you can find later for whatever reason. Now you can have two arrows on your lock screen that if you swipe up, it lets you see your usage history for that day, so you can find whatever you were doing on your phone much quicker. And of course, you can always delete this later if you don't want to keep this on your phone, but things like this you can simply get on an iPhone. Then you have animation customizations, apps layout, and even changing the spacing in the quick setting grid to have access to more features with only one swipe. I'm sure there's many other I'm missing here for sure because I'm all new to Android and all this stuff. So let me know in the comments if you have any other recommendations. Now the aluminum frame is still something I'm not super crazy about, but since the first video I've been using my phone caseless so I can be the test sample and durability for you guys, and so far everything looks as good as new. The display is the most important part here when it comes to scratches, but it seems better than usual. By this time I typically collect some scratches here and there just by daily uses that happens normally in my pocket. It can be maybe some sand or something, I don't know, but it happens to every single one of my phones. I know that a month may not represent a true durability test, but guys, I'm trying here. I have to say that I've become a big fan of the new rounded corners. It's a lot better in hand when you use it without a case, and even though at first it felt like it lost some personality, because to me the S25 Ultra was perfect, but this is really nice too. The camera bump even with a case is still a bit annoying, but it's one of those things you just get used to it over time. But the most important thing here is that the whole package feels very refined, even with that little issue, because in reality it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, I don't have anything bad to say. The S26 Ultra is likely the best smartphone in the market right now. Samsung typically raises the bar pretty high at the beginning of every year, and this one isn't an exception. It's aluminum frame, although I'm not crazy about the durability side of it. The same thing goes with the iPhone. It does feel pretty good in hand, and for my tasks, exporting multiple photos at the same time from Lightroom, filming in APV, long videos, and playing games, the phone doesn't show any signs of overheating, which is a good thing. So the thermal improvements are definitely noticeable. But I want to say, like, at least for me in the previous S25 Ultra, I didn't experience too many overheating problems, not like the iPhone did for me on the 16 Pro when the frame was built out of titanium, but the graph do show the improvement in both generations, so it's a real thing. It's just, well, a little bit less durable, but just don't drop it. And I know that carrying a phone caseless isn't for everyone. And if you're considering to keep your phone in a good condition in the long term, you need to be protected with no other than MagBak. This is the Elite case, and it's just as it sounds. A premium case for a premium phone. And if you buy the S26 Ultra, you shouldn't settle for any case. It has to be one that not only protects but also brings the already great S26 Ultra to a higher level. And this one has 4 really cool features that other phone cases really don't offer. First, the magnets. These aren't your typical weak MagSafe style magnets that barely hold your accessories. The ones from the Elite case are strong, so if you're mounting this on a car vent or any metal surface in general, it's not going anywhere. That alone adds more creativity on how you use your phone on the daily. The second is the finger loop, and it's built right into the case. No clips, no add-ons, just a clean integrated loop that sits flush when you don't need it, while keeping the case minimal and looking good at all times. It genuinely makes one-handed operations on a phone this size feel more manageable, and phones are just getting bigger, so this is a must-have. Third is the stand. It's low profile, folds out from the back of the case, and actually holds the phone at a solid viewing angle, which I use quite often, so at least for me, it's important that it's also sturdy, and this case doesn't disappoint. And fourth, my personal favorite, the pinky pillow. And this is a soft material at the bottom of the case that your pinky naturally rests on. Sounds like a tiny detail, but once you get used to it, you'll notice every single case that doesn't have one, and you realize why the Elite case is so special. So if you're interested in trying anything from MagBak, use my code Christian15 for 15% off, and thank you MagBak for making this video possible. As for the display, well, it's as good as Samsung always does. The colors are vibrant, and every single time I consume any media here, even using Instagram or any app in general, the immersion this phone has is something I can really replicate on an iPhone. And I'm not throwing any shade to iPhones at all. Like, I love iPhones too, but you cannot beat the S26 Ultra or Samsung in general when it comes to displays. Oh, and I forgot, talking about iPhones, do you guys know that we now have AirDrop on this phone natively? I've been transferring files to my MacBook non-stop, and now the reality of having an ecosystem from different tech worlds is way easier than before. The maximum privacy protection mode has also become a big part of my daily, and it has been the one mode in between the two privacy modes I prefer. The regular one is not as dark, so people can easily check on your phone if they really wanted to without much trouble, but it does look better if you intend to use it in the full screen for whatever reason. But as a situational tool, it has earned its place. It's not like I'm hiding anything from anyone on my phone, but when you're somewhere busy, it's kind of nice to have that privacy, you know? And I think slowly, guys, I'm becoming a little bit of an Android fanboy here, and I want to slowly start adding to the Android ecosystem, but I don't know yet what device to get. So if you guys have any recommendations on what should be the second Android device here to start building the ecosystem, let me know. Maybe the watch, I don't know. Okay, so a month with the camera has given me a lot more to say here. The main sensor at f1.4 continues to be the standout here for low light scenarios specifically. It's generally impressive the look that you can get with this phone and how the more natural processing also works here. I'll be using this camera a lot more now than before, and something about this camera and how it edits on Lightroom just gave me a really good feeling of shooting this one instead of my professional camera, and maybe using this more during vacation just to have a lighter setup with me, you know? With that said, my earlier concern about the 5x telephoto hasn't gone away at all. After a month, I still think the Pixel 10 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max are way better on that focal length. It's not like it's terrible, but it has some blurry surroundings that happen on that lens. It might be my case, but I really don't like the quality of the 5x. The Ultra is a whole different story. That one has grown on me even more because I'm generally a big fan of this focal length for everything, and the f1.9 in real world use is a meaningful difference. It has a really good character, and the performance is very similar to the regular camera, so it gives me a really good feeling. I'm comfortable with the low light scenarios here as well, and more importantly, if you shoot in RAW, also edits very well. And now to finish the camera talk, the APV video codec. I want to give this one a bit more airtime because after actually using it for a month, I think it's the most underrated part of this phone. Having 12-bit color depth and that level of chroma subsampling on a phone with LUT preview built right into the native camera app, it's not something you see often in flagship phones. Here you can basically film and do all the post-production directly on the camera app with very good results, to be honest. Guys, I'm curious, if you have another camera, would you use this one as your only camera if you had the chance to, just to have a lighter setup? For me, if I didn't have my Sony a7 IV, I'm sure it would, but even with my professional camera next to me at all times, which I typically use it exclusively for YouTube content and photos here and there, I will definitely take this more often. And it's basically what I do right now. I like to film on APV a lot of moments in my life because it's fun to see that quality in a phone, and the setup is very light and small. I can carry it with me at all times. If I'm in the gym, if I'm going out with the family or doing anything, I can definitely film and just have somewhat of a cinematic look to whatever I want to take, and I really like that. Okay, so in my initial review, I said it was too early to comment about the battery life of this phone, but now a month in, I can tell you that it's been really solid. It doesn't dramatically outperform the S26 Ultra from what I can remember, but it's consistent. I have no days of being stressed of running home from work to plug this to the charger to make sure it lasts me for the gym, and it's definitely not as good as the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which it can last me sometime a day and a half depending how I use it. But the important thing, guys, at least in my opinion for flagships, as long as the phone lasts you the whole day, that's basically all you need. But yeah, what I want to say here is that even gaming, filming in APV, exporting photos, editing photos, doing all those activities, this phone still lasts me the whole day, which is a good sign for you guys. So if you are worried about that because the battery size didn't change from last year, I think it's not a concern that you should have, in my opinion. A month with the S26 Ultra has really confirmed what I said in my initial review. This is the best phone you can buy right now if you're willing to actually use it. I mean that sincerely. The more time I've spent using Good Luck, the camera system, and the video capabilities, the more I feel like this phone has a ceiling I haven't hit yet. So if you're someone that likes to tinker with their phone, or if you're someone who likes to understand every corner of what your device can do, this phone will reward you for that. If you just want something that works simply and gets out of your way, you may find the capabilities of this phone a little bit overwhelming. Because even the simplest thing, like for example, when you get your phone brand new, the resolution is not at the level that it should be. So you have to navigate in the menu, change the resolution, and enjoy your phone how you should. And I'm sure that many people don't even know that, and they buy these phones and then use it throughout the whole year or more without changing the resolution to the max, which is crazy to me. And you know what? That's still fair. You buy what you like. You don't have to be a pro user to enjoy the phone, but it may not be the best choice for you. And like I said before in my previous video, I still think this phone is the best phone you can get in 2026. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna take you out and live the dream.